Throughout the 19th century, Paris was a cauldron of insurrection. Time and again its citizens rose up, transforming the city into a battlefield. The ruling class lived under the constant threat of the next uprising, the next wave of popular anger that could topple a government in a matter of days. Their greatest tactical advantage was the city itself. This was a fear of barricades. The old Paris was a labyrinth of dark, narrow, winding streets. A perfect urban fortress for rebels. With a few overturned carts, torn-up cobblestones and pieces of furniture, a street could be sealed. An entire neighborhood could become an impenetrable maze, neutralizing the state's military superiority. And ultimately, it was a fear of the crowd, the unpredictable, powerful force of thousands of people moving as one. In the dense, overcrowded slums of the old city, discontent could spread like wildfire, and a mob could materialize in an instant. To the powerful, the crowd was not a collection of citizens. It was a singular, monstrous entity that had to be broken, scattered, and controlled. So, in the mid-19th century, under Emperor Napoleon III, Paris was systematically demolished and rebuilt. Beneath the new facade of beauty, the primary objective was control. The narrow, defensible streets were bulldozed. In their place, vast, straight boulevards were carved through the heart of the city. These weren't just for traffic, they were cannons of asphalt, designed to allow for the rapid movement of troops and to provide clear fields of fire for artillery. A barricade on one of these avenues would be suicidal. Grand monuments were erected at key intersections, not just to inspire national pride, but to intimidate. They served as anchors of state power, constant reminders of the regime's permanence, dominating the skyline and the psyche of the populace. Order was imposed over spontaneity. The chaotic, organic growth of the medieval city was replaced by a rigid, geometric grid. This new design was a weapon of observation. Long, straight sight lines were engineered for surveillance, allowing guards stationed at one end of a boulevard to monitor all activity along its entire length. The uniform, six-story buildings lining these streets created a canyon of conformity, a rhythm that trains behavior, subtly enforcing discipline and discouraging deviation. Uniformity was the antidote to chaos. Every corner was redesigned, every vista calculated. This was more than urban renewal, it was a form of social engineering written in stone and steel. The goal was to create a city that was not only beautiful but also legible, predictable, and above all, governable. A city where power was permanently held over its people. This is the hidden story of Paris, a masterpiece of design where every elegant curve and majestic facade is part of a grand strategy of control. Before the grand boulevards and romantic vistas, Paris was a different city. It was a medieval labyrinth, a tangled web of dark, narrow lanes that hadn't changed for centuries. These streets were cramped, unsanitary, and perpetually shrouded in shadow. This was a city where disease festered and discontent simmered just below the surface. The very architecture of old Paris, with its winding alleys and hidden courtyards, created a fortress for its people, not against foreign invaders, but against its own rulers. The city's layout was an invitation to insurgency, a physical manifestation of the deep divisions between the populace and the state. Every corner was a potential choke point, every window a potential sniper's nest. This was the Paris that monarchs and emperors feared, a city that could, and often did, turn on itself in a matter of hours. And when the simmering discontent boiled over into open revolt, these narrow lanes bred barricades. The street itself became the arsenal. With terrifying speed, citizens would pry up cobblestones, overturn carts, and drag furniture from their homes. Anything and everything became a weapon, a piece of a makeshift fortress. These were not random acts of chaos. They were a sophisticated form of urban warfare, perfected over generations of Parisian uprisings. A barricade could be erected in minutes, sealing off a neighborhood and transforming it into a no-go zone for authorities. The city's own infrastructure was turned against the state. For soldiers, entering these rebel-held zones was a nightmare. The smoke from fires and black powder choked the air, reducing visibility to near zero. Crowds that seemed to materialize from nowhere would hurl projectiles and then disappear back into the labyrinth of alleyways. Power struggled to enter these spaces. The traditional advantages of a professional army, cavalry, artillery, disciplined formations, were nullified. Ambush favored the locals. They knew every twist, every turn, every escape route. The army was a lumbering beast in a maze, vulnerable and blind. This maze invited revolt again and again.